Today, I am so excited. I have my very first guest, the one and only Heidi Met. You guys will go down in history.
By December, they were gaining 1 million followers a day. I know a lot of people that got famous off of on the girls, and I've seen those people in real life.
Have you popped off on anyone? What was it like, that crazy schedule of Dancing with the Stars?
People really don't believe it. I just have my own mental, personal blocks, and it was really hard.
Let's talk about that moment where everything changed.
I'll take you before that.
When it comes to reality TV, I've got Dibs on This. Welcome to Dibs on This. I am your host, Michelle DeBellis. This podcast is giving you an exclusive look at everything that happens behind the scenes of reality TV. I'll be interviewing celebrities, influencers, and your favorite reality stars, allowing them to share some untold stories that happen on set. But the fun thing about this podcast is you're not only going to hear stories from the celebrities, but you're also going to hear stories from the producer's point of view, which is me. So tune in to find out what really happens when the cameras stop rolling. Today, I am so excited. I have my very first guest. This is my very first episode. She is a powerhouse entrepreneur and the amazing mother of superstar influencers Charli and Dixie D'Amelio, the one and only Heidi D'Amelio.
Thank you.
Heidi, I love you so much.
I love you right back.
Thank you so much for being here. It means the world. This is my very first episode, and I couldn't envision doing it with anybody other than you, because you're just the best.
But I feel that way about you. So yes, I'm so happy to be here. Thank you for thinking of me.
I have been producing reality TV for 15 years. It's crazy. And I've always wanted to do this. I've always wanted to be a host and just share a little bit of what I do on set with everybody else at home. I find so much joy in being on set and getting to know complete strangers, and we become super close. I mean, not every single person that I've worked with, I've gotten as close as I did with you because you're just freaking awesome. That's why I wanted to do this and, set up this whole studio and be here, because I wanted people to see, like what really goes into those connections. First off, I want to ask you, being here on set, what do you think of the place?
Absolutely incredible. If a set could be a person, it's you. I mean, you can tell it comes from you. And this is also, if I could make a mood board of your energy and your like who you are, this is it. I mean, obviously you'd have a soundtrack of Lady Gaga behind it, but this is it. This is your energy. This is what you bring into a room, and not everybody has that. And so I think I'm not that way. So I kind of creep in a little slower. I might be wearing black, but once I'm there and I feel it, then I'm going to put on the sequins too. So I feel like that was part of our connection. You're me out loud. Like, I feel like I'm this inside, and then I have to pull it out.
No,
it's
love that.
Beautiful. Spot on. The little touches with D'Amelio brand footwear is incredible.
The vibe of the shoewear brand really fits my aesthetic, so that was just a plus. But we know from working on Dancing with the Stars together that backstage on Dancing with the Stars does look like this. And this just happens to be a passion of mine. Like, I love to do it. I love vintage shopping. I love finding fun, crazy things, because I think that putting them together like this is art to me. You know what I mean?
1,000,000%.
Like, how fun.
But also you do it in a way, because another person could just put clothes on a rack, but you put them in a special way that it looks good. That not everybody can do that.
Thank you.
Kudos to you for that.
And it's almost like you got the memo of the vibe of the studio with what you wore today. Like, you fit right in. I actually might have to steal those pants for my next interview.
Absolutely.
No, but again, honestly, thank you for being here. Heidi D'Amelio was casted on season 31 of Dancing with the Stars, and that's where her and I met. And I've been working on the show for 10 years, Heidi. Can you believe that?
No, I can't. But yes, because you're so good at it, it makes sense. I feel like you could do it in your sleep.
Thank you. Let's talk about the whole segue of your family, just that moment where everything changed. So 2019, Charli blows up on TikTok.
So I'll take you before that. Dixie started taking theater classes. It was a mommy and me. So she was 2. And then by 3, she could go on her own. So she did theater her whole life.
That young?
Yeah, it was so cute. And every week
that.
was you dress up. And so that was like my favorite thing. What are we going to be this week? And
My God.
I want to be a cowgirl. And we got the stick horse and the hat and the whole thing. It was so cute.
What?
And
This
so
is
she did that
cute.
through 8th grade, but also did sports. She played every sport under the sun, but her big thing was she was a BMX racer. And
Really?
we traveled the country. She was 5th in the nation, little bean. So cute.
What?
She was so good. And then Charli started dance. The only reason she started at 3, she had just turned 3, was because you had to be out of diapers to take dance class.
Hilarious.
And so she learned real quick.
Yeah.
And she was like, I want to take, because all her cousins took and everybody in my family danced.
Dancers. Yeah. Big dance family.
And so I said, you can't go to dance class till you're potty trained. And it was miraculous. She learned immediately.
Wow.
She wanted to so bad.
What a smart little 3-year-old.
So she started dance, and so she had just turned 3. And so for their lives, that was Dixie was singing always, and Charli was dancing. But we did push them to do other things, just why not, So they did, Charli tried ice skating and swimming, diving, and different things. They both played soccer and gymnastics, whatever.
Yeah.
And then, but when they got, I don't know, middle school, they would make videos, and I have videos of them on their desktops of just making videos and being silly.
Like the first camera on laptop.
Yeah. And so
MacBook.
they were, so I'd like to show you, and they do their little
influencer.
It was the funniest thing. They were tiny.
So cute.
I don't know. I think they grew up with looking in the camera and what that looks like and watching back and never post anything.
Yeah.
And so middle school, Dixie started posting her singing.
Mm-hmm.
She felt good about it at first, and then the other kids had a lot to say about that. So she stopped posting.
Kids are the worst.
Yeah.
Bullying,
Middle school is
the
a
roughest
tragedy.
time of life.
And Charli was dancing. We were going in the city, and I had encouraged her. I was like, even if you don't post them, just archive them on your Instagram. That way, when you're ready, you have a story to tell.
Smart. Yes, Mom.
And she started posting. And then fast forward, TikTok happened, and she didn't have an account. And her friends did. But she was the dancer of her friend group, and they were like, okay, learn it and then teach it to us.
Okay.
So that's what she would do. And then and she would be in the videos sometimes. Dixie's mortified because she's a senior, Charli's 10th grade, and everybody in the school sees her posting. Because at the time, TikTok, nobody wanted to admit they were watching.
Yes, it wasn't cool.
Definitely
not
not posting. Yeah. So Charli was posting, and then she had a couple that got 1,000, 1,500 views. And then I was taking her to a dance intensive a couple hours away in Connecticut. And she was like, oh, let me just do this TikTok real quick. And then we jump in the car and go. And the whole ride there, she's like, oh, there's a lot of people seeing this video. It was just a little dance video.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, well, isn't that the point? She was like, no, it's a lot. Like, how many? It's like 20,000. 30,000, in this 2-hour car ride.
It went up to what?
So then she goes into a 3-hour intensive, phone's locked away. She comes out and she's shell shocked. And it's 300,000 views.
Wow.
And the whole 2 hours home, she's like, what do I do now? What do you do next? I am like, well, if you're enjoying posting, I don't know, just do that, whatever.
Yeah.
And so every post after that, and it was
crazy.
Wild.
Was it overnight that she started to get millions of views, or did it take a week, a month?
So I'll tell you.
How long
so
did
that
it take?
Was mid-July.
Yeah.
And then now really everybody in the school is talking about Charli's posting, and they're watching it, but making fun of her a little bit. And Dixie's just mortified. She's like, please stop. Meanwhile, she was the biggest consumer of TikTok content, but she was she had user 586 or whatever. And so we're just like, this is wild. But no, Mark and I knowing the power of social media and what that means. And so she's just having fun with it, posting with her friends, whatever. And
because she's what, 15?
Mm-hmm.
15 at the time, yeah.
And so she had just turned 15. And so Dixie says, she's like, Dixie, why don't you get on? She's like, if you ever hit 1 million, I'll get on. And so it was like October 31st, she hit 1 million. So July to October.
And she hit 1 million views or 1 million followers?
1 million followers.
Wow.
And so Dixie got on. They did a trend together where they dressed alike. They looked identical twins.
Yeah, they look so much alike.
And everybody thought they were twins. And then in the moment, I was there. I had set up the lightings. They did it in the basement. And Charli was like, Dixie, get your name before somebody takes it. She didn't even know her password. Like she was.
I love Dixie.
She was like, wait, what? So that,
her
they
name
were like
was user
scrambling.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
She couldn't even like tag her. So she ended up getting it. And all of a sudden, like
she now has it.
She's blowing up. So by December, they were gaining 1 million followers a day. And I think it was like early February, Charli hit 10 million.
Of 2020.
Of 2020.
So from July of 2019 to February of 2020, she got 10 million followers.
Yeah. So no, not overnight, but yeah.
No, but
that's
like
overnight.
Very quickly.
Yeah.
That I'm like just it's wild. So awesome. So awesome.
So wild.
Like 1 million followers a day.
A day. Both of them. It was insane.
Oh. I was like,
what were they
doing? Like, yeah.
When you refresh, it would just be like all these new, it was wild. And so at the time, anybody could go live. Now you have to be 18. So the girls,
I didn't even know that.
They're in school, they're chilling, and they're, like goofing with Mark and I, like, I'm going to go make $1,000 in my room. I'll be back. Come back 10 minutes later. She's like, all right, that's done. I'm going to go finish my homework. Like, kind of goofing.
Yeah,
but it was real. Mark's like, whoa. You have to pay taxes on that. Stop going live. Like, we got to get a handle on this. Like, it was crazy.
Yeah, because like when you're that young and, especially because the girls, like, they had social media. They don't, we know what life was like without it. Right? So when we look at the numbers of everything, we're really taking that in for what it is. But them being 15 and 18, they're just like, like, cool.
No, they knew. They knew.
No,
like,
with the money.
With the money part of it, yeah.
The money part, you don't really know at that age. Of course now they do. And
right.
I'm sure they learned very quickly. You guys are great parents. Like, it's just like picture Mark being like, what the hell?
This was probably, the earlier days of that whole live thing. And they're like, and so then they don't even know how to get the money out. We're like, yeah, okay, you just went and earned that. Number one,
where does it go?
We have to set up a PayPal account. Like,
yeah.
And they're like, oh, what? Okay. Anyway, so Mark being the business person he is, like
perfect. The perfect dad for this.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. It was,
that was
and TikTok at the time, people used to say it all the time, it was the Wild Wild West. Like it was just wild. It was just trends and dances. Like
day after day, there'd be a new one.
Yeah.
I'd be like, I remember downloading it in like the heart of COVID. It was probably April of 2020. And my millennial ass was like, what the hell is this? There's too many buttons and the videos play no matter what. It's still like that. Actually, when I open TikTok to this day, I'm like, please stop playing. Like, I don't want to hear the audio. Stop. It just rolls and rolls and rolls. And I was on that thing. I'll never forget. It was COVID. No one was working. Quarantine. It was like 8 days straight. And I was on it for like 13 hours a day. I was on it more than I was like sleeping. And then on like the 8th day, I was like, I cannot do this anymore. And I like deleted it off my phone. I was like, so I can't funny. Because it was just like overwhelming for me. But I look back at that time and I'm like, how crazy that I felt that way at my age. I think I was 33 at the time. And I was like, these young kids are just killing it on this. Like, good for them. I know a lot of people throw shade and people are like, oh, influencers don't have talent and this and that, blah, blah, blah. I will say this about an influencer. They are hustlers. They put in the goddamn work. Yes, maybe sometimes they learn a little TikTok dance that only takes 10 minutes. It would take me like 3 days. But like, they put in the work to make the content. Like you said, they are actual content creators. so many people sit around and dream of this and dream of that. You know, it took me years to put this all together and finally do it. And those young kids just have that
They're
drive
so
and
young.
that hustle. And I commend them for that.
100%.
100%.
And what happened was early on, because the girls would never talk on their TikToks, they would just, use audios. And so, people kind of would just make up stories of who they thought they were. And,
Right.
And so we started the family account and to kind of show like, wait, they have parents.
Who you are.
They've had a whole life. Charli's had a whole lifetime of dance. Dixie's had a whole lifetime of singing because Dixie got in the studio and it just afforded them. They were smart enough to know this is going to give me the opportunities to follow my passions and the things that I love.
Yes.
And they knew that at 15 and 18.
It's crazy.
So, it was just always Mark and I checking in and making sure like mentally they were okay to, do you still really want to do this?
Yeah.
And that kind of thing. So they knew it could pave a way for something great for them that they really love doing and they spent their lives doing.
I'm so happy for them. Like, it's so
Thank you.
cool, like for you guys and your family. And like, not to sound corny, but like you guys will go down in history. Like you will go down in history. Like you're the first family that this happened to. And it's just like, you're role models, you know what I mean? We have a lot of celebrities in this world who are famous for acting, who are famous for whatever they are, professional athletes. But to be just this public family and like showing people that you can be a classic, beautiful, loving, caring, sincere family means so much. You know what I mean? Like, thank you for being good role models, not only for young kids, but for everybody out there, you know?
Thanks.
You're so
I think one of the
welcome.
best compliments that we get a lot is it might sound weird as people tell us that we're normal. And I'm like,
I know I said that before. I
when
didn't
I
mean to be
stop
rude.
hearing that because I'm not, then I need to like reality check. Get your shit together because you're not okay. Like that's all, we're not actors. We're just know how to be who we are.
Yeah.
So
And the girls have talent, incredible dancing, incredible singing. Like it was like a perfect thing that like fell in your guys' lap, and it like brings me so much joy. Like coming from a family, my parents are still married, and I just have an older sister, and I just always like see you guys, and I'm like, oh, my sister and I would have loved this life. We would have killed it at this life. You know what I mean? And I love that your last name is kind of like mine, D'Amelio DeBellis. I'm like, yes, Italian, New York, give it to me.
Yeah.
It makes me feel like I'm part of your family. I know that's your guys' slogan, like welcome to the family. But like I feel like I'm part of the family.
I love it. I love it. You are.
Well, how have the girls been handling it all? Was it hard in the beginning? Is it still hard now? Just fully being out there? Like
at the beginning, you're getting canceled for nothing every other week, and it was stressful. But at the same time, they were having all these fun opportunities, and so it's like, okay, somebody told us, I think it was our agent, it takes 5 years to get to where it doesn't even faze you anymore. And I feel like we're there.
that makes sense. Everybody has the power to just pick up the phone and put themselves out there. Mm-hmm. It's the same concept of everybody has the power to write whatever the hell they want, and nice or nasty, It's crazy. So yeah, I think there's like a level of it where like at a certain time it's like whatever.
Yeah, like
there will always be haters. It
feels very personal at the beginning when it happens. Like they are attacking me.
And it's like on your post and it's your name. And
yeah. And, and then what would happen with TikTok is a person could get famous off of a comment.
Wild.
And so
that's
it was
why
almost
people
like
leave comments.
Yeah. And then they would make negative videos off of a comment. Like, I know a lot of people that got famous off of shitting on the girls, and I've seen those people in real life, and
it probably takes everything for you to be calm, but you're calm. You're such a class act.
I try.
Have you popped off on anyone?
No.
Oh, I would have loved if you did.
No.
I can't imagine that. You don't have that in you. I know you wanted to, but.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes, every once in a while, I'll leave a comment, like, not. But now, that was so long ago. Like, I don't do that now. I would never do that now.
Because there's no point to it now. You know what I mean?
It just, like, sometimes it does feel personal, and you just like,
how could it not?
You know, I grew up at a time where there were no keyboard warriors. It's like,
I hate that that's even a fucking saying.
Like, you're talking shit about me on the playground. Like, what are you saying? Let's talk through this.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
Confront me face to face.
Are we either going to like each other or are we going to hate each other? But let's figure that out.
Right.
And you work through it.
Yeah.
And now it's just...
It's bullshit. I mean, I always try to think about it too. You know, like, you guys are celebrities. You're in the public eye. It is what it is, right? Think about the celebrities that were big in the 70s, 80s, 90s, right? They never had any of this, right? So if people talk shit about them, cool, whatever. It was at a party. It was it didn't live
somewhere.
It's something about it being typed out and being on the internet, and it stays forever and ever, is what makes it like a bigger deal. There's more magnitude to it. There's more weight to it. You know what I mean? And it just because it exists, you read it. I mean, like, someone simple that everyone knows, Brad Pitt, huge actor, probably the 90s was his biggest decade, right? He probably got just as much hate as he did love. He didn't hear it all.
Right.
In this world of social media and everything,
you see it.
You read it and see it, and then sometimes hear it, because some people make freaking videos, you know? It's just a different beast that's more intense.
Yeah.
And like, I feel for you guys, and I hope the girls are doing okay. I'm sure there is. But
we've come a long way. We're like, whatever.
You have to be like, whatever. And every show I work on, I try to tell everybody that. Don't read the comments.
Yeah.
Don't read the comments.
I know. Everybody says that. It's hard.
It's so hard. It's so hard. So not only do you guys post a lot and you're huge on social media, you guys had the opportunity to have your own reality show, right? The D'Amelio show.
Yes.
You did 3 seasons. How did that come about?
So when all of this kind of first started happening, we were getting approached by a lot of different people about doing reality. And we kind of just laughed it off. Like, we're just like chilling. Nobody wants to watch us. It's odd. And then January of 2020, we signed with an agency, and then, you know, they were able to help us sort of weed out and like, okay, who are we really talking seriously about this with? And so we met with all the streamers, and we had 8 pitch meetings, and in every one we were very honest about, you know, we're not going to be arguing and fighting and
drama.
Just like, not
That's
us.
not you guys. That's not your vibe.
So if that's what you're looking for, then we're not your people.
Yeah.
So we were very clear on that. And so we ended up going with Hulu. We felt like that was the best fit. They wanted to create more of a docuseries and just document the craziness of what had happened. Season 1, I thought, was the best. It was COVID. It was still very uncomfortable with all the hate comments and what that was like. And there was 2 scenes. Dixie had done an interview with Vogue because she's in fashion. You know, she does a lot of fashion stuff.
Yes.
And she just got destroyed for it online. And so much so that we were actually filming. Mark and I were filming at our house, and she showed up and she was hysterically crying. And the show was like, and we were like, we need to talk to our daughter. We're not filming this. And she was like, film it. I want people to see what they're doing to people's mental health. And we were asked her 10 times, are you sure? Are you sure? I said, well, we can always just say, you know, because we are executive producers, we could always say, we're not sharing that. And
no, but she wanted everyone to see, like,
a very dark moment. And we were very happy she came to our house. And it was awful. And we had a lot of those moments, but we happened to capture that one. And there was another moment that Dixie and Charli had went just to a little store on Melrose, and paparazzi was there when she got there. And she had a full-blown panic attack in the car. There was cameras in the car. And
Dixie did?
Charli
did.
And she could barely get out of the car and came home, and they were still filming when they got home, and the cameras weren't in, but we were mic'd, and she was kind of just sharing with me, and she was just like, just how the paparazzi would add fuel to the fire to whatever. And
the attention and the scene.
And so she said what she said about the paparazzi and just what that felt like and what him being there caused. And he was one of the nice ones. Like there's others that were not as nice, but she was just very honest, and he was really upset by it. And people kind of came after him. Like, how could you see her visibly shaking and you're going to stick a camera in her face? Like, what are you doing?
This is the story of paparazzi since the day paparazzi spawned.
There was a time for a while where things changed. When our season 1 came out, things changed, and people started to be a little kinder. In real life, as far as the paparazzi, they didn't want the light turned on them.
Yeah.
And they were like, whoa. Yeah. I don't like this. And he signed off on it. He signed off. He knew he was going to be a part of the show. So it was just the honest truth. And so I think when people saw that, they saw themselves in that. Like, I know I'm not big on social media, but maybe I do type some things that aren't as nice as they could be, and to know that I'm causing that on the other end. So there was a moment where the internet felt a little nicer for us, at least, and that was really cool. And I think to this day, that's probably the biggest thing people talk about in the 3 seasons we've done in the show is like how they showed that.
Yeah.
And obviously it was
real.
It was millions, but there's some kid in middle school that might get 10 comments, but in their world, those 10 are everything.
100%. That makes so much sense.
And what that causes to them, and causes them to feel like, and nobody wants to feel like that ever. So, so we did 3 seasons, and I think we were ready to not do that anymore. Yeah. And that was fine. It was a moment in time, and it captured that. It got a little not as documentary-ish.
Yeah.
In my opinion.
Started to get a little more produced.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a little unclear on the vision. So it was just different. So we were happy.
I think I was in the background of one party on like season 3.
Yes.
At the house.
That's right. But because we would always tell them the best stuff happens is when the camera's rolling, because you know how it is. You can't play music.
Yes.
And our life revolves around music. And so we were
Mark's
having
the best DJs.
Yes. So we were having a party, and so they did the best they could with royalty-free music, and so we got to have a party and have music, and
fun.
That's the best part, and the microphone and who's dancing and whatever. So that was really cool.
What's Mark's DJ's name?
In college he was DJ Mark D.
DJ Mark D on the ones and twos. Kills it every time we go to your house or any of your parties, anything. Funny. Mark always crushes it. Brings the vibes.
He does.
I love it. Yeah, no, I know that's a journey for anybody to just be like, hey, we have our own reality show. But I think there's a massive stigma around reality TV. Most people think reality TV is fake, scripted, all the things. But it truly is real. That's why it's called reality. And everyone will be like, bullshit. But as a producer on reality shows, all of the relationships that you see are real. Mm-hmm. So obviously your guys as a family, that's your family dynamic. Very simple to follow. But a dating show, like as a producer, I can't tell somebody to go like somebody and date somebody and make out with somebody and do whatever the hell else they want. I can't do that. Those are real relationships. Yeah. So when the craziest, wildest things come out of these people's mouths on these shows, that's real. Yeah. Like that is real. Yeah. It seems unbelievable because when you're sitting at home on your couch in your PJs, you don't think that anybody could be that wild or outrageous, but it's real. Yeah. And I say to everyone, like, everyone's always like, no, can't be real. They're actors. And I'm like, it's real. But yours was more of a docu-series of your family. But I love that Dixie was being vulnerable in that moment. And then Charli as well, at another moment in time, to allow the audiences to see what real life is for you guys. Yes, I post videos. Yes, I do photo shoots. Yes, we have a good time. But look at what your negative comments do to me. I mean, I commend you guys and your family and the girls just for putting out what's real.
Thank you.
So it was 2022, right? Season 31, Dancing with the Stars. Talk to me about it. Like, just let's go from the very beginning. Like, you got the call to be on Dancing with Stars. Like, how did that go down?
So we were at our house and we were filming. We were filming our show on Hulu, the DeBellis show. And I think Mark was, because he had home office upstairs, and he was like, "Charli, Heidi, get up here right now!" And we're like panicked. Are we getting canceled? Like, that's the immediate. So we run upstairs and he was like, "PR wants to talk to you guys right now." We're like, "Oh, we're definitely getting canceled." I'm like, "What did I do? This is it. It's over. Like, we're done."
The life of an influencer.
PR doesn't call like that. And the way Mark kind of like was responding to the whole thing, I was like, what? I was hot. I was red. I was sweating. Our whole crew's there. And so we're upstairs on a Zoom, and like all the little windows start popping up, and it's agents, managers, PR. And we're like, "Oh, this is bad. This is really bad." And then, so Nicole, the person that we do PR with, is talking and just saying, I know you're filming. We just wanted to get everybody on. She said, "Well, you guys are invited to be on Dancing with the Stars." And so I'm freaking out. I'm hugging Charli. And I was like, "Charli, congratulations." And she was like, "No, Heidi, you too." And I was like, "Both of us?" I thought we were all just there to celebrate Charli.
Yeah.
Although I had been manifesting that for a while. I was like, but anything for my kids. Like, I was so excited for her, but then to know I was on it too. Instant tears. I was so excited because it was almost a year that prior, we were in New York City for Fashion Week, and we went to this restaurant called The Grill, and it's very old Hollywood looking. And there was, I forget what song it was. And it was kind of this slow song, and Charli and I were like ballroom dancing, and we were doing all these things. And I posted it and I said, "This is my official application to be on Dancing with the Stars," because I have been talking about it for so long. It was the first time I put it out there like that.
I love
it. And it was almost a year later we found out. And I was over the moon.
I mean, you have to put those things out there. You never know what's going to happen.
1,000,000%.
You don't know who's going to see it.
1,000,000%.
And you know what I find so much fun about the fact that you and Charli both got casted on that season is, from a producer standpoint, I have nothing to do with the casting of the show. But then I see everybody who's casted on the show and I think like, "Oh, why did they do this? Why did they do that?" It's a family show. So why not have two family members on it, right?
Yeah.
We did it in the past seasons ago. Nick Lachey, Vanessa Lachey, they competed against one another. And that's like husband-wife,
right.
You know what I mean? But we never saw mother-daughter.
Yeah, we were the first mother-daughter.
So I was like, this is epic. But a part of me was also like, wait, like, are you nervous? Like, did you feel nervous to like have to compete against your daughter? I mean, not that it was your daughter, just the fact of like, are people going to criticize? You said in your brain, you guys are always like, "Oh my God, are we going to get canceled?"
Yeah.
Like, were you worried about any backlash from competing against Charli?
I am self-aware enough to know, like, obviously, like, I have no idea what I'm doing here with this ballroom. And she has been dancing her whole life. So I knew she was going to do well. She's a performer, but I never looked at it like, "Oh, I'm going to have to go up against Charli." Like, I'm her biggest cheerleader. So whatever she does, even though we're competing against each other, I'm mother first. So I didn't think of it in any other way besides, "Oh my God, you're like, you could win this." So we always, us moms, put ourselves on the back burner, but happily to have that opportunity, a show we've been watching since she was literally born. And we watched it as a family and we talk about it and, you're judging at home and, this and that and whatever. And so to have this moment where we find out we're on it together was everything. And then knowing that Dixie and Mark were going to be cheering for us, it was a whole family affair, from growing up with them watching it to, being in the audience watching us. And even for Mark and Dixie, it wasn't like, ooh, they're competing against each other. It was just all love.
Right.
Honestly, I think Dixie shared this publicly, so I'm not saying anything she hasn't already said, but she had to stop coming. It would stress her out so much.
Wait, it would stress who out?
Dixie? Watching in the audience, because she was so scared if we would get out and how awful that would feel.
Oh, that's
she would cry. She'd just
God.
watch it from home, and she was texting Mark the whole time. Okay, I can't look. I had to turn it off. Okay, I'm gonna watch it now. She was so worked up about it. I was like, that is so sweet, but
Dixie's
also
anxiety
you're
levels.
more nervous than we are. Not that we weren't, but you know what I mean. So
That's sweet.
So it was just a real big family affair, and our family and all of our accounts, we have almost 400 million followers.
That's
and
wild.
So leaning on each other to post about it, and which we do in anything we're doing. We always share each other's stuff. We were so excited for each other. So it was cool to, although it's family and that's what we do, but to see, them posting about it and their own reactions and stuff was so cool.
Yeah.
And I'm so fortunate to have had that experience with her.
I love that you said motherhood before, like the competition.
Oh,
like a mother first before I'm competing against her.
1 million.
When you guys were filming, how did you balance that? Because I'm sure she had hard times, and even not even related to the show. Life's still going on as you're filming a reality TV show.
There were moments we would ride to rehearsal together and home. Not every time, but a lot of times.
Yeah.
And there was usually one of us crying. Usually we weren't crying at the same time. And the reasons are you're physically exhausted.
Yes.
Emotionally on a roller coaster, and just mentally drained.
Mm-hmm.
It's just for me in my 50s trying to remember choreography. What? I don't know. It's
crazy.
Insane. So
it's a muscle. I mean, that's why we see, and then we see the pros in rehearsal, and they're like, "Hey, I need help. Can I teach you this 8 count?" And in literally 8 seconds, the 8 seconds of the 8 count, they learn it.
Yeah.
And you're standing there like, I'm standing there filming you guys thinking, what the hell did I just watch? Like, these dancers, it's a muscle to them. They do it so quick, and then you're standing there. That had to be like added pressure, right?
And so in these moments where I'm struggling or she's struggling, and then on top of that, they want me to wear a wig, and I'm going to look like a clown, and then I'm going to get made fun of on social media. And so there was another layer to it that we would think about. But we were so lucky to have each other. I heard myself in Charli kind of consoling me in those moments of, you're supposed to be here. Like, everybody's having, everybody's pro pushes them beyond no matter what level you're at. Yeah. So if I'm at this level, I'm getting pushed beyond. If she's here, she's getting pushed beyond. Yeah. So we're all like feeling it the same way, but it also felt good for me to be there for her when she had her moments. Yeah. Or sometimes Mark would come in to our room and he'd stick his head in. He was like, "I need you as a mom right now." Yeah, of course. I'd go in. "My toenail is coming off," and she's crying. There's literally a medic right there. And I'm like, all right, no worries. I'll get you a Band-Aid. And it was like instant mom. Right. It was like my stresses I was dealing with in my own rehearsal space was nothing, but
I love that you guys had each other to lean on, because not everybody has that similar experience. I mean, we know that mostly every single person that's competed on the show knows how exhausting it is, right? And we'll get into that in a second. But what a special time for you and Charli to have each other during one of the hardest competitions out there, and like, let's talk about that. Like, people look at Dancing with the Stars, and because once the live show hits and we're all watching, it is buttoned up to a T. But the work that goes into that live show every single week, like, let's talk about it. It is an insane schedule on Dancing with the Stars. It's live on the live day. We're live on Tuesdays now. Were we live on Mondays? It was Mondays with you, right? We're live on Tuesdays now. And then literally the next day, rehearsal, heart to hearts, filming, blah, blah, blah. No breaks. No breaks. No. You get a day off when you get voted
you're eliminated.
Off. Yeah. When you're eliminated. People don't realize that. Like, how crazy. I want to hear it from you. Like, from someone who, like, I'm there watching you guys. And it's exhausting for me. I'm working long hours, but I'm not dancing my ass off like you guys are. I mean, I give you guys so much credit, and your body, right? The weight you lose, everything. Like, what was it like, that crazy schedule of Dancing with the Stars?
People really don't believe it when I
They
talk
don't.
about it. It was crazy. So no days off. And when you're not there, you're thinking about it. And then we'd record everything. So I'm watching back and
at home.
Watching myself like miss a step 100 times and just, replaying it in your mind. Oh, I get it. Sometimes you forget you need to go home and eat and sit and let it sink in, and which is helpful, but on the other hand, you're like, I just need to keep doing it. So I feel like that and that competitive spirit somehow pushes your body and your brain to shut out that your feet feel like they're going to fall off. And, you're hungry and feel like you have vertigo and all the other things because you just have to get it. Because time is not on your side.
It's not what people like. People watch the live show again and they're just like, oh yeah, it's great. It's perfect. It's everything. It's like, it's live. There is no room for error. And you don't want to mess up on live TV because then it's like, that's all everyone's talking about. But you only have 6 days until that live show.
It's
only
incredible.
So many hours in a day.
I don't know how all that happened. When I think back of it, it's just the day. Also, for the pros to come the day after a show with full choreography.
Wild.
When did you do that?
Unbelievable. They're so talented.
So talented.
The professional dancers are so talented on Dancing with the Stars.
And so it's just that next day after the show, it's almost like, I don't know. I have to do it all style. Again. Like, is there anything we could recycle? I have to do it all over again. Is there anything I already know we could do?
Please help me.
It was crazy. Every Tuesday was like day one.
Yeah, it was day one. And then you have all of us, the producers, being like,
so you're just
let's do heart to heart.
You're just getting in a groove. Like, I just got 4 8 counts. And then you guys come in and then I go back and I forgot it all. I forgot everything I learned. And then want to do heart to hearts. And I don't know. I kind of forgot about that part of it. My brain is hanging on by a thread. Now you want me to get emotional and talk about what this means to me this week. Like, oh my God.
You're like, I'm still digesting last night.
Yes.
And the live show.
Yes.
And all the feedback I'm getting online.
100%.
And now it's less than 15 hours later. Honestly, most of the time it's like less than 12 hours later. Yeah. You go to bed, you rehearse, go to bed, wake up, back in the dance studio, and then it's like me having to make you guys sit there do heart to hearts.
And added to this is I actually love you and I want to do right by you, but I'm like
exhausted. I know.
So exhausted. And I felt bad a lot of times because you were trying to get it out of me, and there was, besides the just pure exhaustion and mental drain, I was struggling with my own sort of learning how to communicate what I was feeling on such a big stage. Like that was because although in 2019, the girls and our family, by 2020, we were everywhere and we had blown up on social media, and I kind of happily got to hide behind my family. Well, they don't want to hear me speak. Like, let them do it all. And I was there to support, and I'll be like, hi, but like, don't give me too many lines, and I don't really know what I'm doing. And they were happy to cover for me.
Yeah.
But there was no hiding on this. I had no one to hide behind. I had to speak. I had to get on the mic, and that was terrifying. But I had so much personal growth because of it. So thanks for sticking with me.
Of course.
And you knew what I needed, and you knew what you needed to get out of me more than I did at the time. It took me time to process that, but thank you for being patient.
Oh my God, of course. And I mean, that's like such a big part of our connection, you know what I mean? And us becoming friends now in real life, our bond growing on set and now here is why you're here. But it's such a crazy thing. I have been doing it for years. I'm not physically going through what you're going through as a contestant on that show, but I can understand it because I'm seeing it happening. And I know you're a good person and I know you have it in you. So I'm just like trying to ease my way.
You were very
and work
nice
with
about
you,
it.
you know? But I mean, like, that's like so important. Like, how important is it to have people in your corner on set? Like, how big was that for you?
It's everything, because I couldn't imagine, let's say if it weren't you and someone trying to do their job, obviously, and all right, these are the things we need to hit. This is what I need from you. Let's go. I would have been like, oh, I don't know. I would have been awful. It would have made everything a lot harder to communicate, which it was already hard. And so I'm just so lucky that I had you to talk through those moments with. And it kind of just felt like I was talking to my friend, but we were getting footage out of it too, which was, it just meant so much to me.
Of course. I'll be there for you forever, girl. You ever need me on any set?
I got you.
I got you.
My translator.
I got you. No, honestly, but that's like to me as a producer, I want whoever it is that I'm working with to walk away and feel like I'm supporting them and that they're comfortable. You know, we're put in uncomfortable positions sometimes because you guys are going through it, or maybe, you know, not related to the show. Something personally happens in your life. Unfortunately, right? Like I still have to get what I have to get. And we're still filming what we do, but it's like that human connection, you know, you need a minute, you need a beat, you know? I just think that what we went through on set was such a important example of what goes on set, because you've never been in front of the camera like that on such a massive scale, you know? It's different than making videos and TikToks with your friends and hanging out in houses or going out and doing it somewhere fun. Like, this is like big studio cameras, the schedule, the fact that you have to do it when you have to do it. That's all that added pressure, you know?
And I'm so sensitive because we were filming our show at the same time. And so I'm so sensitive to everyone there has a job, and I don't want to get in the way of them not being able to do their job. So I want to do right, and I want to be a good partner, and I want to make sure everybody gets what they need, while at the same time, like falling on the floor tired and mentally drained and barely have 2 brain cells to put a thought together, but I need to get this for you. So I was trying really hard, but it was a lot. And I feel like a regret I have about it is I was so trying to do all the right things. I didn't have the fun I wish I would have had. It was fun, but I wish,
like looking back on the show, you have some regrets.
Enjoyed it more. It was just like scrambling, like, I hope I get to next week. You know, I wanted to make it as far as I could. I think everybody does. That's why you do all these things. But it was hard to enjoy it when you're struggling and you're trying to learn and, you know, all of the things.
The pressure is blinding.
Yeah.
You know, you're putting so much pressure on yourself.
And let's not forget dancing in front of Lynn Goodman. Hello.
I know. I actually want to talk about Len. That was Len's last season.
I'm so lucky.
What an honor that was.
And he had some really nice things to say about some of our performances, which meant everything. I mean, to hear him say some of the beautiful compliments and, you know, tough love. That's what we love about Lynn. Yeah. Like, give it to me straight. What can I work on? How can I come back next week better? And he would tell you. And those were the things that were like in my brain. But so fortunate I got to perform and have him judge me.
Yeah, Len is obviously a ballroom icon, he blew up in America because of Dancing with the Stars. He's one of the OG judges, and you got to be on the last season that he was a judge on Dancing with the Stars, which is epic. But I think what was so much fun for me to watch that as a producer and go through that season, your partner was Stardom, and Stardom is a classic choreographer, and Len loves that. Yeah. Loves that. So like without you even knowing, like before getting into the season, like it was almost like you had a little like ding, you know, like he always loves the way he choreographs because he doesn't mess around. He doesn't fuss about, you know, the famous Len sayings. But, as week by week getting judged by him and Carrie Ann and Bruno, what did that mean to you to hear the feedback from these professionals?
Sometimes it was frustrating, honestly.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm like, do they know what we've been doing all week? Like,
I know.
I don't know. Some comments I thought were unfair, but maybe that was the emotions running high. I think Bruno's a blast. So, and he's sweet. Even since I've been on the show, I always end up sitting by him, and we're always like,
he's the best.
And Derek too. Like, Derek gave me some feedback that I really took, and I'm like, I brought it back the next week, and I would call him out. I'm like, did you see? I did exactly what you told me. So let's not forget that I'm listening. I'm paying attention.
I am listening.
And I mean, it's just great. Sometimes it's hard for them. They have minimal seconds to tell us, and the audience is shouting, and there's a lot going on, and you can barely hear, and so it's hard to, and you're trying to soak it all in, and you can barely breathe because you just got off the dance floor. There's like no time to this. So it's a lot in that moment, but I did try to really pull all of the compliments and criticism and take it with me through to the next week. But some of the things they were asking of me were things at the time I couldn't dig deep enough to pull out to give them what they wanted. And I knew that. I just had my own mental personal blocks, and it was really hard to
they were like a big thing that they kept saying throughout the weeks was like the emotion, like you're executing it beautifully, but we want to feel the emotion. This gets said to multiple people a season, and it is the hardest thing to take.
Mm-hmm.
And I understand that. Like I'm watching you guys go through it. It's like what do you mean? Like, I'm nailing this routine. I did everything perfect, but you don't feel me, and you're like,
no, I knew. I could tell I wasn't. I knew I wasn't. I'm like, I don't know where to dig this out from. I hear you. Yeah. I want to do that as well. Even one of my sisters was like, girl, you did so good, but like, can you show more emotion? I'm like, I am trying. I don't know how. She's like, yeah, just do it. I was like, I know. I just wasn't there. Now, if I did the show today, it would be there. But I also feel like I was stuck on making it perfect, and that was my like top.
Mm-hmm.
I wanted to get all the moves right,
yeah.
And I wish I would have understood, if you just kind of lean into it, the showmanship is gonna get you not maybe further, but bring something to
the performance.
Your performance that's bigger than doing it perfectly. I couldn't do it at the time. I wish I could have. But.
It's hard it's hard. Again, like being in the spotlight like that, no one understands it until they're doing it.
And it's funny because there was no hanging out.
No. Well, that's what I want to talk about, which is a huge thing that people may not realize. Every season has its own thing and its own different flair, and it always is depending on the cast and the vibe and blah, 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 blah. But your season, COVID restrictions were still in place, and they were incredibly strict restrictions. You know how you just mentioned like, oh, I popped into Charli's studio once or twice. You guys were the only ones that were allowed because you're mother and daughter. You lived in the same house. People don't realize after this past year of 2024, like season 33, 2024, biggest season, I think, of the show, which is crazy that you can be this many seasons into a show and it's massive explosion. And it was mostly because of social media. Dancing with the Stars blew up on TikTok and Instagram this year. It was like crazy. Everybody was like talking about it, tweeting about it, this, that, da, 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 whatever, tweets, whatever they're called, X's. But people don't realize that your season, you guys couldn't do that. So there was no interacting. You couldn't go into each other's studios. You couldn't make TikToks. Arguably, what made this season so massive is all that added extra fun the couples were having in their studio spaces. Mm-hmm. Like, what was that like for you? Because people don't realize that about your season. And it was you and Charli, two massive influencers, that weren't allowed to go out there and do that.
Yeah, it was, I do feel like we didn't get the same experience because of that, but it is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
And, we're not stupid. They brought us on because we have a big following and they want these, especially for Charli, this younger demographic. My demographic is young, believe it or not, because it just the nature of how people found me is through my kids. So at the time, there were pods, and Charli and I and our dance partner were a pod. So we could only go in each other's studios.
Mm-hmm.
We were in a pod in hair and makeup. You couldn't go
in the trailers.
Yeah. And we interact with each other all the time, and we were just doing more of that. So there was so much missed opportunity there to get people excited about it.
Yeah, it's just crazy.
But I'm glad it ended up happening.
Yeah. I just think it's crazy because people that watch at home maybe didn't realize that,
Oh, no.
And now when you look back past at this season that just happened in 2024, it's just like how obvious and apparent and necessary the whole social media aspect of dancing is. And, when TikTok blew up in 2020 in America, it was mainly dancing.
Mm-hmm.
Dancing. And now we have a dancing show. It's in the title, Dancing with the Stars. You would think they'd come hand in hand. And unfortunately, the COVID restrictions, it is what it is.
Yeah. So it was tough.
What a different time.
Yeah.
We were getting tested every
day.
day.
Every day. Also, I don't know what it's like now, but I know it changed when COVID happened. You guys, the camera people weren't in our room.
Oh, yeah. That's a huge change, too. Yeah. So that's fun fact. Thanks for bringing that up.
They were
RoboCams.
Like the Wizard of Oz. Watching us from somewhere.
There was robo cameras in the room on massive tripods that were recording you guys dance because the cameramen weren't allowed in there. We had a big studio. One of the dance studios we turned into a huge control room.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where we watched and monitored all the robo cameras. Now we have guys, classic cameramen
in the room.
Yeah.
Wow.
Camera on shoulder or on sticks. And they film. And then we'll say, hey, you know what? We got enough of Heidi and Artem doing cha-cha. Go to room 2 and get so-and-so and so-and-so doing a samba. We'll bounce from room to room.
Yeah, I don't know that life.
It's crazy. we have safety wides in every room though, which is really fun. So if we do have to pull those big cameras because we don't have enough guys to film, we always have a camera rolling just in case. Because just in case.
That's great.
You know what I mean?
That's
just
awesome.
in case. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like eye in the sky. Everybody knows it's there. It's not a secret or anything. But it's for safety reasons. Like God forbid someone gets hurt, we need to know.
Right.
So it's mainly that reason, but also we can keep tabs on if they're taking a break, if they're filming TikToks, which they do a lot of now, if they're going to grab lunch, if someone went out to go to the restroom, then we'll know, okay, we can hold off on that room for 15 minutes if they're taking a break,
That's so funny.
But if in another room, if something's going down, big dance move, they're getting the mats and they're going to do a flip,
Right.
Cameras in there,
That's cool. And I feel like that probably changes the energy. Like it gets exciting.
Yeah.
Sometimes I know I do better whenever, sometimes Charli and Mark would come in our room and they're like, we want to see.
Yeah. To
and
perform
we'd show
for
each
somebody.
other.
Yeah.
And I would do so much better when they were there.
Yeah.
It was like, okay, I'm performing now. So it's
true.
like
There's a different
when you're
energy.
just doing it 100 times in a row, it just,
and there's no one
falls
going,
a little flat.
woohoo!
Yeah, just hype me up.
Yeah.
Even though I might be terrible, hype me up. Like you're so close, Mom.
Give me some.
I
need it. I need some confidence.
I was lucky to have those few moments when they would come in, and I remember this one. I remember it like it was yesterday. It was Michael Bublé week.
Yeah.
And so I had a samba and it was probably Thursday and nothing was clicking. And they came in to watch and I really somehow it all of a sudden clicked. And then
the pressure.
Mark Ballas goes, I'm sorry, samba rolls? This is one of the hardest dances I've seen.
It is. It's the hardest dance.
I was like,
the samba's the hardest dance.
I told Artem, you could have told me that because I just thought every week I'm getting worse. It's worse this week. I think maybe week 5 or something, 6 than it was week 2. What's happening?
Right.
Oh, it was really hard.
Hardest dance. The samba's the hardest dance.
So hard.
People try not to do the samba on the show if they can get around it because it is.
It was my
by
first
far.
10.
You on a samba.
Yeah.
Yeah, girl.
I know. I'm so excited.
That's almost like better than winning the show.
I know,
No one gets a 10 on the
it.
samba.
I know. I was very excited.
That's your win.
That was my win.
That's your mirror ball, getting a 10. Was it from Len?
It
on
was
the samba?
No, but I got 9s.
Nice.
Like 10 and 9. So.
Yes. First 10 on a samba.
Yeah.
Go you, Heidi. Well, I love that. What do you think the biggest thing is that you learned from being on that show and in that competition? What have you learned about yourself?
I learned that I do have a voice that I want to hear. I didn't think I wanted to hear it. Why would other people want to hear it? And I know it's a dance show, but that moment when you run upstairs after you perform and Alfonso starts asking you questions, every week I felt more confident in that, more than anything else in that. Wow, I can do this. I can talk on camera, on a mic with everybody in the building, but watching at home.
Yeah.
And I like it.
Yeah.
I'm the fourth born. I'm very shy naturally, like growing up. I remember I think I was 19 and we were at a birthday. We have a big family. And so everybody was at my mom and dad's for the birthday. And I like said a joke or something. And it's almost like you could hear the needle scratch on the record and everybody turned around like, when did she start talking? I'm not kidding.
God.
I was so quiet.
Yeah.
And so, and I, I ended up moving to New York City and I did get more outgoing and more vocal, but in that situation and just everything that had happened with our family was so scary sometimes. Like, I don't want to say anything. Like anything I say gets crapped on and I just rather say nothing.
Yeah.
And then this kind of took me out of it.
Good.
In the best ways.
Good.
So I'm so lucky to have had that experience. I think I would have gotten there over time, but I think it would have taken years because it just pushes you beyond anything that you have inside and it takes you to a new place as a human. And it was awesome.
I love that. After you had that experience, did it change you in life? Like socially, did it help you?
1,000,000%. First of all, I want to thank you for teaching me how to communicate in a way that I don't just think about telling my story. I think about from your side, you need a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Yeah, girl.
And how to answer questions because it only made me better at maybe the audience wanting to listen. You want the people to be on your side and to hear your story and to vote for you.
Yeah.
So it's such a big part of it. And then I do take that into my socials and how I storytell there. And I think of you and like the interviews and what you're trying to accomplish to help me.
Yeah.
And then I kind of take that, do it myself.
I love that. Thank you for saying that.
Yeah, it's huge. It really did. It changed how I communicate even within my family. I just learned how to be a better communicator by hearing myself talk and hearing myself express how I'm feeling in these crazy, exhausted times of being on the show. And then even after you dance and, you hear the judges and it's not always positive and going and doing an interview, like all of that just changed. And I'm
watery eyed.
It did. It changed how I do the work that I do and
I love you.
how I communicate in life. So I'm forever grateful for that.
I love you. You're welcome. I guess it feels weird saying you're welcome, but it's so funny, like hearing you say that. I remember saying to you, like, people want to hear your story. Like, it's just the mental block that sometimes happens, And I was like, people were like, they relate to you. People that watch the show are your age, And like, that's no shade. It's like they want to. If they were like, hey, throw me on the show right now, partner me up with Artem, they'd be going through the same thing,
One thing
when you're going through it, it's hard to see that, you know?
I saw it very quickly after. I was like, it's a little too late now. But I will say one of the best things is since I've been on the show, just out and about, people will stop me and say, I watched you on Dancing with the Stars. I watched you and your daughter with my daughter.
Aww.
I hear so much of that, and it makes me so happy.
Yeah.
Like, we were rooting for you
That's
and all
so
of that. I'm
sweet.
like,
I know. I mean, that's like makes me cry. That's like goals. One
It's
day, I hope I could do
everything.
something so cool with my
because
daughter.
I watched the show with my Mark and I would sit on the sofa and watch the show with our daughters.
Yeah.
And now I'm on the show with my daughter. And now people are telling me they watched us with their daughter. Like, it's
Talk about
wild.
full circle.
Wild. And it just makes me so happy.
I actually want to segue into that and talk about how you and Mark met. So you guys met, what year is it that you met? You met in New York City, right?
1997.
Okay.
I had moved to New York City and I was taking my shot at modeling, but I was a personal trainer to pay the bills.
Nice.
And the guy that ran my gym in college, he was Mark's college roommate. And Mark, he was born in New York City, so that's his stomping ground. So he was like, to his friend, James, he was like, I'm going to need a membership to the gym. And so he's like, yeah, of course. So he started coming in. He's like, oh, you got to meet this trainer, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, I'm not going in the gym and asking her out. So the guy planned a gym party for like all the people that work at the gym.
Mm-hmm.
And that was our first night. Oh, you'll love this. We left there and my friend worked at a place called Polyesters.
Yes.
And so I go over there.
Lots of that right here.
And it's all disco music. And so I go in, there was a line out the door, but she was like dating the manager or whatever. So he was like, yeah, she's in the back. Go ahead.
Yeah.
So I go in, I turn around, Mark's there. I'm like, how did you get in here? There was a giant line. He was like, I wanted to see you. And I was like, okay.
That was after the gym party, the same night?
Same night.
Yes.
And we danced disco the rest of the night.
Get it.
And then he took me home in a cab and he was like, do you want to go out on
a proper date?
And a proper date. And we did. And I stayed over and I never left. And we will be married 25 years next month.
I love that. He's a New York City boy and you were a girl from Louisiana, right?
Absolutely.
Just a little Southern girl in New York City.
And you know what's funny is he would say, also when we had met, I might want to throw this in there. I had just shaved my head. So it was like total buzz cut. And he said,
wait, you guys for real met when you were bald?
Yeah. And,
that is so badass.
And he said, and I was like, yeah, what do you think? Like, what is this like? Have you ever like dated a girl or whatever that's bald? He was like, I've dated a lot of girls that are the same. He was like, that's why I like you, because you're different.
Oh,
he's like, you're from Louisiana. You have your own things. You have balls.
You're bald. No, I love that. It's no shade. It's just not common.
Yeah.
Why did you shave your head? Was it for like a campaign? Was it for modeling?
I wanted to shave my head for a long time. And one of my sisters was a hairdresser. And so she was trying to discourage me. Again, I'm from a small town, Louisiana.
Yeah.
You don't do those things.
No.
At the time.
Right.
And
or even still now.
Yeah. It's definitely, you're like, oh, that was a choice. So she was like, your head's kind of flat in the back. I don't know if it's really going to look good. She was just trying everything to discourage me.
Your head's flat in the back.
And I was like, okay. So I moved on my birthday of 1997, January 4th. I missed my flight. So I moved the 5th. And then I shaved my head. I think it was September.
Mm-hmm.
We got clippers and we ordered a pizza and we got a 6-pack of beer. And we went on the sidewalk of our building. We asked our doorman for an extension cord to plug in, which he did.
The razor.
Yeah, and she just buzzed my hair and we had a blast. And it felt so good. It was like one of my best hair decisions I've ever made. It was funny how people react to you.
Yes.
When you have a bald head, which is interesting. Men react differently. Women react differently.
Yes.
But like all in a positive way. So it was just something that I wanted to do. I don't know, like there was nothing really deep behind it.
Yeah. You just always wanted to do it.
Always wanted to do it. And then because I would tell my sister this, it's hair. It's
gonna grow back. You were so brave.
And also at the time, I couldn't afford to go to a hairdresser in New York City.
You're like,
I went through all the phases of it growing out, and I had a blast with it.
That is so. I have nightmares about being bald.
Oh, I know. People say that. I loved it. And then 20 years later,
gorgeous.
20 years later in New York City, after I did it, Dixie shaved her head.
I do remember that.
And I was like, that's so awesome.
And it was like Fashion Week, right?
Yeah, and then
was,
she
like,
had
walking.
to, she was debuting it at a certain show, so she had to wear a wig to one show, go in the car, take the wig off, get the glue off, fix, no hair to fix.
Yeah.
And then change clothes and then debut it at the next show. It was like a whole thing.
So badass.
Yeah, it was cool.
I love that. That's crazy. So wait, when you met Mark, you literally had no hair.
I had shaved it. Oh, here's the other part I didn't know, because I had not been in New York City a full year. So it's still hot. It's September. And then fall happens and I was freezing. Also, right after I shaved my head, I got caught in the rain and it was so painful. The rain.
Interesting.
I did not know. It was the next day. So it was
raw.
So painful. It was, my scalp was very tender. And
wow, that's crazy. Yeah. I've never thought about that.
And then it got sunburned.
Yes.
And it peeled. So that was
sense.
a whole thing. I had a whole lot of learning lessons. But it was cold. I didn't want to wear a hat because I felt like I didn't feel confident in a hat bald.
Yeah.
So I was like going crazy on the earrings and always have my full makeup. I just felt, but then I settled in and I'm like, I don't care.
Right.
This is what I'm going with.
Well, yeah, everything's an adjustment.
Yeah.
Everything. Well, that's cool. That makes me love Mark a little bit more than I already loved him already.
I know, right?
That he was
cutest.
like, yes, bald head chick. Because people
it.
are such haters when women have bald heads, when it is actually
So
a beautiful thing. I mean, you just see the whole face.
Yeah.
It's so feminine. But I love that you guys met like that.
I
That's
know.
awesome. So how long were you in New York City dating until you guys were like, we're going to move to the suburbs?
So our first date was October 9th, 1997. And we got engaged December 18th, 1998.
Nice.
And then we ended up getting married. We are going to do it in 99, but we wanted to do it when the kids were out of school and family and whatever, because we got married in Louisiana.
Oh.
And so we got married May 13th in 2000.
My wedding anniversary is May 27th.
I love that.
We're in the maze together.
I love that.
So the year 2000, married. Were you guys staying in New York City then? Were you married in New York?
We were still in New York. Yep. And then all his family and friends came down to Louisiana. And
what was it like having a bunch of New Yorkers in Louisiana?
Somebody said it's like the Sopranos met the Dukes of Hazzard. I was like,
wait, what? Did we just come up with a new show?
I know, right? It was so cool to watch just all the love of everyone we love celebrating our love. It was the coolest thing.
When you moved to New York and eventually met Mark, like moving to New York, were you thinking like, I'm moving here to find my person, or were you moving there to like, what was your purpose to move to New York?
So I was modeling at the time in Louisiana, which might not sound like much, but there's a lot of work in New Orleans. So I was there all the time.
Nice.
I worked in the modeling agency. So I taught the models how to walk the runway and all that. So I was really good at all the things that I could never get a job doing. Editorial photo shoots, like that was kind of my thing, but I wasn't getting booked. I would never get booked for that because I wasn't tall enough. Like you have to be 5'8" plus.
Yes.
Runway. Anyway, so I said, I just want to see if I can get one modeling job in New York City. So a girlfriend of mine, Kelly, who's still my bestie,
Kelly.
She and I moved and got an agency. I had a few agencies. One was more for like athletic body type, and the others were like traditional. But my first job I booked as a model in New York City was runway, and I was like, done. I could die tomorrow because that was the one thing I knew. You just had to be tall to do that, and I opened the show, so I was like,
yes.
Oh, I was so happy.
Epic.
And so everything after that was gravy. I mean, I never like consistently paid the bills. That's why I worked as a trainer, but it was just something that I loved doing.
Yeah.
I loved the hair, the makeup, the fashion, and being on set and doing a good job for the client and the brand or whatever. So it was cool. It was so fun. And it was a challenge of, can I move to a big city and do this?
Yeah.
And it was pulling me. So I just wanted to see if I could do. I never thought, I'm going to move there and meet the love of my life. I thought modeling was pulling me there. I think it was bigger than that. It was, Mark and I were supposed to meet and have our family, and whatever way it worked out was the way it was meant to be.
looking back at your life these past 5 years and even 6 years going, right? To where you have this beautiful family. You're living in Connecticut. You have your 2 young, talented daughters, and then they blow up on social media and all these opportunities open up and your whole life shifts, right? You move to Los Angeles. You guys own businesses now. Charlie's on Broadway. You both got to be on Dancing with the Stars. I mean, the list goes on and on and on of the success that you guys have as a family. Just how does that feel to look back on your life, which was a beautiful, amazing life, but now also have this one?
We kind of always said if none of this ever happened, we had a great life before that. Like if somebody said you have to go back to that, I think all of us would happily do that. We had a good thing going. It's definitely more complicated, but the opportunities that we've got to have as a family is incredible. And it doesn't matter if I want to go back or don't want to go back. This was supposed to happen. And so when things are just unfolding, this kind of happened to us. So what are we going to do with it? And let's find the best way to experience it. And to be able to do that with the people you love most right by your side is everything. People say, do you miss your life before? I miss my family and friends that I don't live around, but we have the opportunity to bring them here and enjoy them here or go visit. So it's all positive. It's not and nothing about it is negative. Even the harder times that we've gone through in the last 5 years emotionally is just part of it. It makes you stronger. It's part of the journey. And you just take it with you with all that we had before that.
Yeah.
Along with it. So it's just part of our story.
And what a beautiful story. And I just love that you guys have been such a solid family to one another. Like the definition of family.
Thank you.
Like how lucky are you guys to have
so
that?
Lucky.
And I feel so lucky to be your pseudo sister and the girls' pseudo auntie. But now, lastly, to close out my first episode of Dibs on This, I would love to do like a little this or that with you, like a little rapid fire.
Okay.
I'm going to say this or that.
I'm the worst at this game because I've played this game with my family and they get so mad at me because you have to pick one. I'm like, well, I'm a little this and they're like, no, you have to pick one. I'll behave though. I'll do it.
Well, we could do it. Try to do it as fast as you can, but if you don't, I'd love to hear stories.
I got you. Okay, yeah, I know. I always want to tell a story.
Okay, so here's the this or that game with Heidi D'Amelio. Okay, Heidi, modeling shoot or dance rehearsal? Already starting.
Dance rehearsal.
Yes. Thrift shops or designer pieces?
Thrift shops.
Flats or heels?
Heels.
Yes. Charlie's TikToks or Dixie's music?
Both, and I'm never gonna pick one.
Obviously, I threw that in. I threw that in there for a reaction.
Nice try.
Right? Home cooked meals or dining out?
Home cooked.
Yes. Your cooking or Mark's cooking?
Mark, he's really good.
He's a good cook.
He's a really good cook.
I love that. My husband's a good cook too.
He's so good.
Stereotypically, I was maybe thinking that Mark maybe didn't cook, and you would be like, oh, obviously, my cooking.
We're both good. Like we cook different things.
Yeah,
he's really good, and I'm good at what I do.
My husband's
he's good at a lot of things. I'm good at less things, but I'm really good at them.
My husband is the cook.
I love that.
So I would go my husband as well. I love that. Early bird or night owl?
Night owl.
Introvert or extrovert?
Ooh. Extrovert.
Nowadays.
Ish.
Nowadays.
Because of you.
I love you. LA or the other LA, Louisiana?
Ooh. I want my Louisiana LA people here in LA. That would be the best. But you just can't beat the weather here. But that's a hard one.
It's a hard one, but I thought it'd be fun.
I'll just say LA.
Yeah.
And leave it up to.
Exactly, because it's LA and LA.
Yeah.
I love that. Well, thank you so much for being here, Heidi. I've said it a million times again. I love you so much. But there's one last thing I want to do.
Okay.
Out of all the crazy things on the racks, I want you to choose one of them. And so we could do our last little shot wearing crazy clothes together and then take a fun photo.
Okay.
So what's calling to you, Heidi?
I think what's
like?
calling me is this guy's been sticking to me the entire interview. I think it's really calling me.
Okay.
So.
Dying laughing. I think I got that at Ross, and I think there's 2 of them. And the tags might still be on, so let's check it out.
Let's go. For my photo that I took for Dancing with the Stars, that first photo shoot you take in a costume for all of the promo was this color. And I was mortified. I looked
It
horrible.
had like the fringes on it. Was it one of those dresses?
It had this wire thing and no disrespect to whoever made that costume. It's not even about that. That color on me, I looked awful. And here I go.
So here we are. We're becoming
like
comfortable again with the color. How we met on Dancing with the Stars.
I love it.
With our perfect crazy sequin shirt and proving that we do look exactly like sisters. I love you. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Thank you for watching my first episode of my Dibs on This podcast with the wonderful Heidi D'Amelio. Here we are in our crazy matching outfits. And lastly, I just wanted to share, when it comes to reality, I've got Dibs on This. Thank you so much. See you at the next episode.